Welcome to the St. Paul Area Association of Realtors Better Brokers Series. My name is Paul Sigurdsson. I'm chair of the Professionalism Committee for 2020 at the St. Paul Area Association. And I'd like to welcome you today for a special presentation. We have a National Association of Realtors staff person from Chicago, Illinois, from our home office there. And she will be going into the Commitment of Excellence program today. Her name is Courtney Jones, and I'd like to introduce her right now, if you would be so kind to let me do that. So Ms. Jones is a Commitment to Excellence program specialist at the NAR, working with and collaboration with the Commitment to Excellence Committee. Courtney strives to support realtors and help them achieve their career goals and perform at the highest professional level. She serves as the Commitment to Excellence program point of contact for the NAR leadership, members, state and local realtor association staff, and NAR affiliates. Courtney has over 10 years of experience in the world of professional associations. Before joining National Association of Realtors, she has worked with the awards as the awards coordinator for the Association of Library Service to Children, known as ALCS, where she was responsible for the ALSC Awards program, including the Newbery and Caldecott Children's Book Awards. In her free time, she serves as the president of Michigan Avenue Toastmasters, where she has earned her Advanced Leadership Bronze and Advanced Communicator Silver Awards through the Toastmasters International. So please welcome Courtney Jones today.
Thank you all so much for that warm welcome. Thank you so much, Paul, for that introduction. And a major thank you to the wonderful staff here at SPAR. Thank you so much, John, for picking me up this morning and inviting me out. Thank you so much, Mandy, and thank you so much for Kristen for making sure this all happened. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for being here. It's really, really important. I just really want to know quickly, how many of you have heard of Commitment to Excellence? Raise your hand. Oh, wonderful. That's really great. And how many of you have logged on to the platform? Oh, wow, same similar number. That's really fantastic. Well, wonderful. For those of you who haven't heard of the Commitment to Excellence program, we will quickly do one overview to let you know how the program works, how it's effective for you as someone who is interested in elevating your level of professionalism or just showcasing the level of professionalism that you already have. And then for those of you who may not have heard or may not be familiar with the fact that brokers, managing brokers, actually have very special capabilities within the platform that they can use to help people move through the platform. So we'll do a little platform demonstration. I'll have you all take out your phones really quickly and I will walk through some of the portions, but that'll happen about midway through the program. And then at the end, there will be time for questions. So if during this presentation you have any questions, feel free to write them down and we will talk about them at the very end, all right? Wonderful. Well, the Commitment to Excellence program actually launched in November. Sorry, wrong way. There we go. Actually launched in November 2nd of 2018. Now, this was actually a long time coming. Back in 2014, there was actually a presidential advisory group called the Realtor of the Future. And out of that group, they realized that professionalism was a major component to the ongoing lifeblood of real estate and realtors. And from that group, they launched the Code of Excellence. And eventually that Code of Excellence went on to become Commitment to Excellence. And it was decided that the Commitment to Excellence would be an online program, a program that was self-paced and started off with assessments to see where you actually were in terms of your knowledge and skill base. And then from there, you would find yourself with a tailored, personalized learning plan. Now, this program has been around again since November 2nd of 2018, and now we are at 40,000 people on the platform. Actually, we are rapidly approaching 41,000. I keep tab on the numbers every single day. It's like a little game to me to see how many folks are on the platform. And then we actually have 4,800, almost 5,000 people who have actually completed the program. And again, this program is self-paced. So there are some folks who will sit down in an afternoon and they might complete it, knock it out of the park right away. There are some folks who are taking their time and savoring it. They're taking about 6 months or so to work through the program at their own pace. Some other early successes that we have had include the fact that in Minnesota there are 431 folks participating and 32 have earned their endorsement. The St. Paul Area Association of Realtors, there are 141 folks that are participating and 7 have earned their endorsement. At the Minneapolis Association of Realtors, there are 153 that are participating and 11 have earned endorsement. C2EX is now an award-winning program. We were on the 2019 Learning 100 list, which is very exciting for us. They even sent us a nice little crystal award that sits in the lobby of the National Association of Realtors. And we are in great company. Amazon has received this award. NASCAR has received this award. The Department of Defense and the American Heart Association have received this award. So we're in good company. We're working very hard. The platform itself is something that we're extremely proud of. We have a wonderful partner in Noggin Labs. They're the folks who actually developed this. And they developed it, as Kristen pointed out last night at dinner, in a way that it makes it easier for people of all learning styles to actually engage with the platform. Also, some of you may have heard this, but as of November, during our annual conference, NAR's annual conference, it was decided that if you earn your endorsement through C2EX, so you complete the whole program, it will fulfill your Code of Ethics requirement for the cycle that ends in 2021. That cycle is now 3 years long as opposed to 2 years long, but the Code of Ethics, if you complete your Commitment to Excellence program, it will fulfill that requirement. So I encourage you to get involved. This program itself is baked into your dues, meaning that it's something that you're already paying for. And this is an opportunity for you to use this program to fulfill your Code of Ethics requirement. Now, there are 3 important components to Commitment to Excellence. When it was decided that this would be a program that people would be able to use, that they wanted to be able to evaluate that skill set, enhance their skill set, their level of professionalism, and then last but not least, be able to showcase how well they have done. So the way that we've done this is that in order to evaluate, you have to do the assessments. And then the next step, in order to enhance, you have to complete the learning and the tasks. And we will go through those first portions, and then we will talk about how you get to showcase these, that you've completed the program once it's over. Out of that group, they came up with 10 different competencies that they felt made a well-rounded realtor. These are the 10 things they wanted to focus on, because this is a program for realtors by realtors. So they wanted to focus on real estate law. They wanted people to understand the Code of Ethics and then really drill down on Article 10 of the Code of Ethics. And then advocacy, trust and integrity, safeguard privacy or data privacy so that you are able to better serve your clients by understanding how data privacy works. Areas of practice with specialties that you might be interested in as a realtor. Client service, professional reputation, and then there is an 11th path for brokers. This path is optional to people who are strictly agents, but for people who are brokers or managing brokers, this path is required within the platform. Now, for example, this is what an assessment question might look like. Now, these assessments are usually between 5 to 10 questions. Usually people take about, 10 minutes, 20 minutes to do the assessments. Once you log on to Commitment to Excellence, what I would encourage you to do is Just find a quiet spot, sit down, relax, and have the time you need to do these assessments. Because if you complete these assessments and you do a really good job, you get all the questions right, you then test out of the competency. So it's an opportunity to maybe shorten the amount of time it takes you to complete the required portions of this program. So in this case, what is the primary focus of Article 1 of the Code of Ethics? It gives you multiple choice, you select your answer, and you hit submit. Now, in order to enhance, once you have completed all of the assessments or the assessment of the competency that you chose that day, you now have the opportunity to take on the learning path. So based on your assessment, again, if you got all of the questions right, then you test it out, you won't have to go through the learning portion. But if you did not get all the questions right, and you did not test out, now you have the chance to actually learn more about that particular competency. So from the example we had earlier, it was Code of Ethics. So now you get a personalized learning path based on your C2EX assessment. In this case, we've moved on to the real estate law competency, and by we, I mean me. This is actually what I came up with when I took the real estate law portion. The path that was selected for me, or the two learning topics that I was asked to complete, included state, local, and municipal law, and then zoning and land use. So I realized that these were the two things that I needed to brush up on. Now, in the broker path specifically, now this would pertain to all of you, in the managing broker portion, you will find that there's a lot of really interesting information regarding onboarding new agents, so you can learn more about listing presentations, agency relationships, prospecting, closing skills, time management, and the like. There's conflict resolution. As you can see, there's a crisis management portion as well. We encourage you all to really look through the broker section because it is required of you, but also we encourage agents to look through it as well, so they can understand what they can expect from a broker, a managing broker in their office. So it appears on their platform, even though it is not required of agents. So just in case you get that question from them. There's also policy development, compensation, there's some risk management, there's agent coaching and retention learning topics as well in that broker competency or broker path. Once you have completed the learning portion, the next step for you are the tasks. Now these are the real world learning functions. So what you're doing when you go through the tasks is you look up, you choose whichever competency it is that you want to work in that particular day. And then you look at these actual tasks that you would go out in the real world and complete for yourself. So in this case, we have real estate law again, good old trusty dusty real estate law that I'm working in. It's asking you to attend a community meeting. It's asking you to read about RESPA protections. Now, the interesting thing about this is if you have done any of this over the course of your career, then that actually counts towards your endorsement. So if you can't necessarily remember the last time that you went to a community meeting, this might be a chance for you to go again. But if you realize that this is something I've done before, I do it on a regular, ongoing basis, then you can actually check off this task as something you've done over the course of your career. So if you sit down, you do C2EX, and you want to just sort of knock this portion out, then think about the last time you did it. Think about the date that you did it, and then you'd enter it into the platform and mark it off as a task that you have completed. So this program does not punish folks who have been in the business for quite some time, people who have experience and knowledge and know what they're doing. But if somebody is newer to the industry, this is an opportunity for them to learn and do things that they have not had the opportunity to complete before. Oh, yes?
So I was at a study in November for this, and there was a couple of people in the room that were frustrated because they didn't know the dates. So is there a way
How
of
does that work?
completing it without, yes, knowing the actual dates?
You can enter in today's date if you do not know. And you don't get in trouble for that. It's a helpful and quick way for you to knock that out if you can't remember the date
Yeah,
that you
because
did
that was
something.
kind of a roadblock for many in the room, is they didn't feel that they
Yeah.
were being honest if they, you know, put a date random.
Well, it's really good for that. I'm glad to hear that, they really want to. A lot of folks are very, they're honest. They want to make sure that they're doing the right thing. One of the tasks in here is register to vote or register to vote. Now, I was 18 when I registered to vote. I don't remember the exact date that I did it. So I entered in today's date as my registered to vote date because I've done it. I am registered to vote, right? Okay. Did you have a question?
Well, I struggled with that same dynamic and was concerned that if I put something in that was not correct, that would be an issue. So
Yeah.
that might be a thing to highlight
Absolutely.
for the
Let
learning curve.
People know
Yeah.
in the future. Yes, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And then too, there are actually some portions where it says attend a certain event, or especially if it's an NAR event or something like that. We have actually done some data integrations that will actually be able to just slot the date in for you. So that was an update that we made back in September. So there are some things, if you've attended a Tech Edge event or you've gone to an annual conference or something along those lines, the platform is actually taught to slot those dates in for you. So just a heads up on that. We've also, this is a new update that we've made, and by new I mean it came out in September, but we're really proud of it, and I'm very proud of it as well. This is our robust help section that we have. It includes a welcome video, dashboard video. All of these videos explain how to actually work through the platform itself. So if you have any questions about how do the tasks work, or how do I actually work or navigate a learning path, there are some where it might be a slideshow presentation. It explains to you how to work through that slideshow presentation. There are some where it's a bunch of conversations. So the platform will start off a conversation and then you have to answer in the correct way. And if you don't, it explains to you why this isn't the correct answer that you are giving it. Then it pops up with another conversation that you might be having with a client or with a fellow realtor or something along those lines. So this section, this help section, as you can see, you can identify it by that upper right-hand corner. There's a little question mark that says help. But in this platform, you are able to find more information about how the program actually works.
Is that those little icons up there, they show up on every page?
They do.
Okay.
They do. Mm-hmm. Yep. So showcase. So you've done it. You did it. You did all the required parts of C2EX, which is fabulous. Now, what do you get out of it? How do you tell other people that you have completed this program? Well, we actually have built into the system a means for you to download your certificate. Everything is offered to you digitally through C2EX. The platform itself, the learning, all of that is done digitally, and it only makes sense that we would offer you your certificate and your marketing materials digitally through the platform as well. So in this case, you would go to your dashboard. You would then see on the My Achievements section, you would hit See All. And once you click that, you will see that you can print your certificate, and then you can download your marketing materials as well. And the marketing materials include things like table tents for your desk, little social media things that you can put onto Facebook or Twitter, things like that. And then just FYI, in this section, this is what it will look like for you once you have completed the program. All of your icons will light up and show you congratulations. You have done all of these competencies. Each icon represents a different competency. So this is what the endorsement certificate looks like. Casey Stewart, that name might be familiar to some of you. She is actually my boss. And when the program launched back in November of 2018, she was the point of contact. Some of you might have had interactions with her. But this is her endorsement certificate. And you are able to print it out and place it on the wall and show everybody that you did it. This is the table tent that I was talking about. And then additionally, we have things like mini posters. This is the pledge, the Realtor pledge. And we encourage you all, this is actually what you'll see at the very end of the program. The pledge will pop up and it will ask you to kind of raise your right hand and say it out loud to your computer screen, but this is the pledge that you will actually see once you complete the program as well. Now, for you all who are brokers, you now know from the previous portion of this presentation how to move through it for yourself. You are able now to, you know now how to actually move through the program and earn the endorsement for yourself. But what about folks in your office who you might want to track and see if they can go through the platform? Encourage them to move through Commitment to Excellence. Well, as a broker, you actually have a lot of capabilities. You have tools at your disposal to help you spread the word about this program and also to encourage people to move through it as well. To use these, just as a heads up, to use these portions, you must be listed in NERDS as the managing broker of your office. In NERDS, we call this the designated realtor, the DR of the office. So be sure, check NERDS, make sure that you are listed as the designated realtor. Otherwise, you will not see these capabilities in your platform. If you have any questions, you can contact C2EX at nar.realtor. That is me, mostly. It's me. You're talking to me. So when you log in to C2EX, and again, you will go to c2ex.realtor. You will log in using what is essentially your nar.realtor login, but you'll use that login. And once you get in, you'll see on the left-hand portion of the screen what we call lovingly the hamburger menu. It is 3 stacked horizontal lines. It's also known as the compressed icon menu. When you click on that, you will actually see a whole lot of fun things that you can actually access, including the library. There's an achievement section, there's a help section again. But then the most important thing for this demonstration is the broker admin screen. And that is where you will find all of your tools for being a broker. You'll see that there are brokerage settings, there's my group, there's users, there's task assignments, managing the library, and most importantly, the reports. A lot of folks love these reports because that is where you can actually see who in your office is progressing through the platform. Please note that if someone has not signed in at all to C2EX, you will not see them in these reports. They have to have logged in at least once for you to see them. Once you select the report that you want, and today we're going to focus on agency progress because that is the report where you can see their percentage of completion. This is what the agency progress report looks like. You can see here in the red that I have actually highlighted what percentage point that they're at. So Damien is at 11%, meaning that he's probably logged on, done a few assessments, but he probably hasn't done much of the learning or anything like that. You'll see that Megan is at 100%. What that means is she's completed the program. She has earned endorsement. So if you are looking for people that are endorsed, that are in your office, you will find them by saying that they are at 100%. Okay? Now, this is something that's really interesting. The library. Now, I'm a huge fan of libraries, obviously, but in this case, the library actually is where you can upload things that people in your office might find interesting. So if you have a marketing packet or you have any sort of broker or office related materials that you want to see or everyone to see in your office, you can upload it here. And you can actually direct people to the library to review those materials. This is another way for you to digitally capture items that are in your office that are very important. So I highly recommend that you use the library because not only can you upload files, You can also upload videos, or you can upload PDFs, a range of files that work for you in your office. Now, in this case, in this example, we decided on a brokerage manual. You can upload that and folks can work on it. You can add and edit the content and send it to the library. You can also make sure that you upload your brokerage logo. So when people log in, they can actually see the logo of your office. And last but not least, as brokers, in your help section, you will also find videos that are specific to you as brokers. So in this case, that means you have a video that says this is how you actually use your brokerage dashboard. This is how you actually upload things to the library. This is how you create tasks, that sort of a thing. And then there is also a brokerage admin guide as well. Now, why would you do this? Why would you want to encourage people to move through it? Just like there is an individual endorsement, there is now a brokerage office endorsement, meaning that your office can be C2EX endorsed. So if 80% of the agents in your office are endorsed, and you as the managing broker in your office are endorsed, then you can apply to be C2EX endorsed as an office. These are some of the items that will come through in your office endorsement packet. We're including things like pull-up banners, there'll be social media messaging and the like, but in addition, all of these will be printable materials that you would be able to create for yourself and use as an endorsed office. All right, so if you want to get started, go to c2ex.realtor. If you have questions, you can email c2ex@nar.realtor or me. And we also now have a dedicated phone number, where we have folks who can actually answer questions as well. And last but not least, I'm sorry that got cut off on the bottom there, but at nar.realtor/C2EX, that's nar.realtor/C2EX, that is where we have promotional materials that are available to you. So if you want to have a little web banner and letting people know, hey, check out C2EX, or if you need any sort of flyers or anything like that, it's available at nar.realtor/C2EX. And additionally, that broker page is also at nar.realtor/C2EX/broker. All right. Questions?
What was that? Could I get that phone number again?
Oh yeah, of course, the phone number.
Then Courtney, if you send me this finished presentation, I'll take everyone who's signed in, I'll send this to you too, so.
Absolutely, yeah, wonderful, yeah. The 888-299-9669. All right.
I've got a question.
Yes.
On your slide where Casey was endorsed,
Yes.
it had a date under her trophy.
Yes.
Is a date change for everybody, depending on when you get endorsed?
Correct. So whatever date you finish the program, the platform automatically assigns that date to your endorsement certificate. Yes.
Once they complete C2EX, is there opportunities for engagement after it's done? I mean, are there other modules that will come out in the future?
Yes.
You know, if a realtor really got something out of it, or?
Absolutely. So the platform is actually, and the program is actually designed to bring you back in once updates have been made to each of the competencies. So in this case, as we mentioned earlier, the code of ethics, endorsement counts towards your code of ethics. So right now, one of the updates that we are planning to make, or we're going to boost more of the code of ethics portion of commitment to excellence. And so a lot of folks will find themselves who are already endorsed at 4,800 number, they will actually find themselves being called back into the platform. As technologies change, as laws change and updates are made, things happen within the industry, this program is nimble enough to be updated on a regular basis. So it is an ongoing, lifelong journey for folks who are interested in commitment to excellence. And additionally, once you are endorsed, there are things you might have tested out of. Like for instance, under real estate law, you only saw that I had 2 that I was required to complete. There were actually 11 learning topics within real estate law. So I can go in, even though I was required to do 2, I can go in and still view those other 9 learning topics. So we encourage people who are endorsed to go back into the platform, look around, there's plenty for you to do. I saw another hand.
Yeah. What is it, the approximate time? What if somebody is new to the industry and comes in and tries to start this course?
Yeah.
How many hours is going to take them to complete it?
Yes, of course. So right now, on average, we're seeing about 10 hours over the course of 2 weeks. And that 10 hours might be all in one go. That 10 hours might be they did 5 minutes one day, they focused on it for 2 hours another day. It just depends. Now, if somebody is newer to the industry, it might take them a little bit longer because of the tasks that we are asking them to do. Because there are tasks that are things like go out and do a certain kind of presentation or attend a certain style of event. That might take them time to, 1, find an event that fits that purpose, and then 2, actually attend that event. So for some folks, it might be 10 hours over the course of 2 weeks. Others, like I said, are savoring it, and some are taking 6 months to do it. It just really depends on how well you do on your assessments and how much experience you already have in the industry. Yes?
For those people who like interaction in person, is there any thought to having a sort of like a study group in-person option so that you can interface with other agents?
So what we're finding is we're actually encouraging a lot of people to kind of work through it together as a group. So in the case of brokerage offices, that's an opportunity for people to sit down and kind of talk about the program together as a group. For instance, I've heard in a lot of sales meetings, there's a section on realtor safety. So during realtor safety, they will then break out that portion and say, all right, let's focus on this week. And we'll talk about it together and we'll work through it together. But right now, through NAR, the program itself is all online. Yes?
So as a managing broker, if I choose to delegate some of those monitoring, tasks of monitoring my agent's progress to one of my administrators,
Yes.
Is that possible? In other words, is there a way for the separate login that they can have so they have freedom to do that, or how does that work?
Yeah. So actually within the platform itself, you have managing users, and you'll see everybody, again, provided they have logged into the platform at least once, you'll see everybody, and you have the ability to assign them certain levels of clearance and then assign people under them. So if you are not interested or don't have the time to necessarily work with a certain group, then you can assign those folks to someone else. If you want to delegate that to someone else, you can. Absolutely. Yep. Yes?
As this data comes back in terms of how the system is being used, and you're obviously finding from a collective standpoint about, you know, the topics that agents are knowing a lot about and maybe not knowing so much about, is any of that being shared, or is that being incorporated into as you strengthen the program to make those areas more robust?
So the more information that we get, the more people that are using the platform, we were actually seeing where people are more interested in one topic, or they are willingly going to other topics that are not necessarily required of them. And we are recognizing that these things are very interesting, or in some cases people need a little bit more strengthening in certain areas. So as a result, we are looking to beef up those various areas. I don't want to say off the top of my head what they are, but yeah, we are
seeing
using
interest
that data.
areas and strength and weakness areas.
Absolutely, yeah. So we are actually looking at that data and thinking about the next phases for the actual content. So every year we are making changes to the platform itself, the actual functionality, but we are also really looking at the content over and over again to make sure that it is timely and useful. And part of that is pulling out the data that we currently have and using that. Yes?
Real estate is so heavily regulated on the local level.
Yes.
I found the legal part of it a little bit frustrating because there was nothing or not much in there that was really applicable. I mean, I would have liked to see things in it that were more Minnesota appropriate, because I don't know how much good it does.
Yeah.
Will that ever be?
Yes, so
We-
actually,
Oh, okay.
we actually now have, so just like brokers have admin privileges, association staff now have admin privileges. They are able to pull reports, and they are also able to add things to the library. So that is a key function. That is something that we're actually focusing on. That's one of our strategic goals for the next year, is making sure that things are more approachable and able to be helpful on a more local level.
I would feel like I died and went to heaven if all agents really understood like which condo docs they have to produce.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, there's all kinds of area where you can just look it up
Absolutely.
online even, and it's just not, okay.
Yeah, so that, yeah, absolutely know that, and that's a really good point, and that's a lot of feedback that we did here as well, because obviously when we rolled this out, we rolled it out on a national level, and it's hard to kind of drill down
Real
into
estate is
individual
local.
states and local. Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you so much. Yes.
Does not have plans, excuse me, for educating the general public and the realtors on this, because with 30 agents and what do we have, 3,000? How many do we have as far? Okay, so even worse, 7,000, there's only 30 that have passed it in over a year. Do we, I just don't know if all the realtors know about it, much less the general public,
Yeah.
to know what the difference is.
Absolutely.
So is there either an incentive that if my agents get this, that maybe their dues would be reduced? Or can the general public go and look online and say, well, you have it, you don't, I wanna go with this realtor?
So actually, we are in the process of working on some integrations with Realtor.com, so that it will appear as one of the badges. So commitment to excellence. This person is commitment to excellence endorsed, and there will eventually be a consumer-facing campaign in relation to commitment to excellence. And then beyond that, we are actually seeing in these early stages of the program, we are seeing people actually promote commitment to excellence in their local market to consumers as well. They're actually putting it up in their advertisements. They're saying, congratulations, these people from this office are commitment to excellence endorsed. Here's what that means for you as a client. And then in addition to that, we're working to make sure and doing grassroots educational campaign to make sure that people know what commitment to excellence is. Realtors know what commitment to excellence is. We're actually, another strategic focus this year for us is to create an ambassador program. And that ambassador program will be realtor to realtor, peer to peer, so that people can talk more about commitment to excellence, say the ways in which they're using it, and encourage each person to move forward through the program.
I have not, logged in or anything, but I could foresee or would think that, like, when you buy E&O insurance, they like to know what percent of your agents are CRS agents or GRI or something like that. I could see perhaps where this could be another standard or whatever that E&O insurance companies might look at, especially if I think if we get some promotion from the National Association of Realtors or Realtor.com or whatever, they play it up or whatever.
Absolutely.
And the public starts to see it, maybe they're on Realtor.com searching for properties and they start to see this commitment to excellence. Who knows?
Possibly, yeah, thank you. Yeah, thank you for that. I've heard a little bit about something in that regard, but I'm not necessarily comfortable necessarily just saying it, but I do know that there are a lot of folks who are very interested in the ways that people are adopting it and the adoption rate of it and what that means for clients and what it means for promotion and what it means within the industry itself. Are there any other questions? Oh, 2 more questions. Yes.
You're gonna add more about fair housing to it, correct?
Correct. There's
I was surprised.
yeah. So the Article 10 section is pretty robust at this point, but we are obviously always adding more content and more information as well. Yeah. Thank you for asking.
My question was kind of a add-on to what Teresa said, and that is, given the Newsday investigation and all of the problems that were unearthed with that multi-year study, NAR is rolling out a whole series of initiatives having to do with fair housing. Who's the point person for that, and what's that going to look and feel like? I know that's not directly C2EX, but this could be one portion of it.
Yeah.
What else is NAR going to be doing?
Oh, that is a really, really good question. Let me actually pull up. I do have information on that, but I don't want to say anything off the top of my head. But yes, so commitment to excellence as an opportunity for more fair housing, more. It's a great opportunity for people to learn more. I know currently one of the tasks is you can actually complete a certification or a designation, and one of the certifications, or actually at Home with Diversity right now, is about 50% off. So there's an opportunity there for more folks to engage with various portions of NAR that are focused on fair housing. Yeah. Anyone else? Additional questions? No? Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. Thank you for coming out.